And we're going to do this session today in 2 parts. So we're going to spend the first hour in here really working on analyzing the diagnostic math data that you have from your students from this summer. And then in the second part of the session, all of you are going to head over with Melissa to talk a little bit about reading data so that when you switch content in a week and a half, you will know a little bit about how to enter that data and how to use that data. We want to make sure that everyone gets both. Let's go down to the end. So in full transparency, I'm not super familiar with the OSAT, and my OSAT login is not working right now. So we are going to work through this together. So I just want to let you know that this is going to be kind of workshop-y, and we're going to all try and all hands on deck to figure this out. And we're going to start just by thinking like a few big picture things about data for the first 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to look at some sample data together, and then we're going to spend the last 30 minutes really like analyzing your data from your class such that you have it, and luckily we're a small group and we can kind of help each other and each get what we need from this. And also my clicker is out of battery, so I'm going to be standing over here by my computer. So what do we think of when we think of data? I'm going to give a really dated reference now. As a child of the 80s, I think of the character from Star Trek. I don't know if anyone knows him. I'm not like the hugest sci-fi fan. My sister is actually a young adult science fiction writer, and so when we were growing up, she was super into the show that this guy was on. But the reason he was called Data is he was a robot, right? He was emotionless. So sometimes we think of data as being like this emotionless, black and white situation, which it is not necessarily, right? There can be shades of gray in our data as well. So we're trying not to think of him. And we are thinking about the OSAT, which is the tracker that we use this summer, that is going to be a really valuable tool for us once we all figure out how to use it. So we're going to do that today. Couple things to know where this session is driving at in terms of immediate outcomes for you. So you may have seen on the WIDWAW that Wednesday at 10 p.m. is the deadline for having your diagnostic data entered into OSAT. And so we're going to have some time to do that today if you don't have it done yet. We're going to be trying to see whole group and small group trends in that data. And at the elementary level, you all as math teachers right now are the only people who actually get to select which objectives to teach this summer based on the data. So you're going to be selecting, you already have turned in your plans through the end of this week, right? So for the last 13 days, you're going to select the 13 objectives that are highest priority for the rest of the summer. And then we're going to start thinking about how can we analyze individual student responses to help us think about our plans. So math in this room, writing in the middle, reading it down at the end with Melissa. Are there just any questions about those deadlines or what needs to get done most immediately? Thank you for those of you that are by the door. Thank you for helping out. Math in here, writing in the middle, reading at the end. Okay, so we're going to start off with just a little partner talk. So let's imagine that this is the data that you got back from your assessment in terms of the scores. So go ahead and talk with someone next to you. Look at those options. Talk with someone next to you about what might you do and what would be the pros and cons of the choice that you made.
Crazy. Okay.